Here we go!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast type thingy. I'm Mark.
I'm Paul.
Today we are doing, so hopefully something very short, our top 5 bosses in the video games. A few rules I want to set. Hopefully this doesn't interfere in your list. 1 boss per franchise.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if he's a minor boss, sub-boss, final boss, just any boss in general.
Any boss at all.
Let's do it. I'll go first with my number 5. Do I do like 5-5 and then like...
You want to do that?
And then we'll do 4-4. Want to do that? We'll do that.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
That works for me.
I'll start with my number 5 boss. We will start with... I'll go with Bowser from specifically Super Mario 64.
Ooh, that Bowser.
Yeah, when we gotta grab his tail. And like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So long, Bowser! Ho ho! So yeah, that's the thing is where you have to run around, grab his tail, throw him into a bomb 2 or 3 times. Special and kind of nostalgic for me. That was the first game, obviously, I played with N64. Holy crap. Blown away by it. Awesome.
I definitely think that was the first N64 game anyone played for the N64.
For sure. Well, technically, my first game I played was Warzone. The WF Warzone.
Oh.
But I digress. That's my number 5, Bowser.
Yes.
Super Mario 64.
Alright. Mine is King Dedede from Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy. The very first one. Now, this is definitely nostalgic train for me because Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy was like the very first game I ever completed. Like,
nice.
Ever. Like, I even remember doing it too. Like, me and my brother were playing it. We're going back and forth and like just trying to beat the game. I made it to DDD's Fortress and I made it to him. I was like on pins and needles the whole time. My brother just sitting there staring at me, just playing the game, and I beat him. And I mean, in all hindsight, he's not terribly difficult, but he's definitely a memorable guy for me as being like the first final boss guy that I was able to beat.
Nice.
And boom, that's my number 5 right there. King.
Number 4, you go.
Oh, okay. Number 4 for me, I put down as Mega Man Juno from Mega Man Legends.
Nice.
Now, Mega Man Legends is by far my favorite game. If you know me, I speak about this game to all my friends and like, hey, have you played Mega Man Legends? Have you played Mega Man Legends? Just, you know, that's what I do. And there's plenty of bosses in that game, though, that I do consider memorable just because I like the game so much. But the very first time you face Juno is a pain in the butt because he's fast, he's powerful, and he just eats a lot of hits. It just, you really have to work at him like your very first time facing him. And not only that, he has a second form that's even more faster and powerful and takes more hits. And it's just, I mean, he's like an offsetting guy because, you know, everyone's all like, oh, is this a girl? Is this a guy? But it's a guy. Talks like a girl, but he's like pretty hard. And definitely, since he's from my favorite game, definitely one of my favorites as far as like bosses go. God, this is like rapid fire, right?
Bam!
Boom!
Number 4 for me would have to be the Master Hand. Just from all the Super Smash Brothers games. The very first time I played Super Smash Brothers, I was like, this is weird. I was expecting like a Street Fighter or like a Tekken type fighting game. And like it was like the weird, like the percent system. And then the final boss was just a giant hand. I thought it was actually facing like giant Mario because like the white glove. I remember being like very like nervous, like oh no, like he was hard. I don't remember he was hard for me, but a great idea for the series, like the Master Hand, because in the beginning of the game you see him like playing with the toys. Very great. And then obviously for Melee, the inclusion of Crazy Hand, just a great simple boss with a lot of character, and it sticks out to me. Very well done, clever, all above. Number 4, Master Hand from the Super Smash Brothers series. I'll do number 3.
Alright, I was just going to throw it back at you.
Boom, number 3. I'm going to have to go with Dr. Eggman / Dr. Robotnik. His real name, Dr. Robotnik.
Yes, the Robotnik, not the Eggman.
From, obviously he's in like every single game. I'm gonna stick to Sonic 2 and do his final boss form, his giant like robot thing.
Giant robot.
That thing. I'm 25 years old. I've never. Well, I lie. I beat him for the first time like 3 years ago. But as a
It's
child,
been a while.
as a child, I've never beat him. The only time I've ever seen him being beat was when I was like super young, and my sister beat him. Crazy. And also, I guess like a close second to like Eggman is the Casino Night level when he has like he drops the bombs. That was really hard for me as a child. Love this. I think I like Sonic the games more than the Mario games growing up. So yeah, Dr. Eggman, specifically from Sonic 2, this final boss form / a close second to the little Casino Night Zone bombs.
Sounds good. My number 3 is Lance from Pokemon.
Oh.
Specifically, Champion Lance from Gold and Silver. I think he's a very memorable champion from like all the series and things like that. I mean, yeah, you got, you know, classic one, and then like everyone else that came before that's like Steven, Alder, whatever her face from Diamond and Pearl. But Lance,
Cynthia.
yeah, her,
Hey!
sure. But Lance, I think, is like definitely a memorable guy just because he's in, you know, 2 different games. You know, he was that top guy that you thought was the last one from Red and Blue, where he's like, "All right, the leader, Elite Four. Oh, you're the champion, or you would have been." But then when you actually play Gold and Silver, you know, keeping everything in mind from the first games, and then you run into the Elite Four, and then you get to the champion, and you're like, "Hey, I remember you!" And then he's even harder than he was before. It's just a really, really, to me, it's a very, very impactful trainer in like all the Pokemon series as a whole.
Good
It's
choice.
definitely one that stands out for sure.
When he helps you in Lake of Rage and tells
Yeah, and he helps you. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy too, you know, and
He's a boss.
And he has spiky hair. Take that to the bank.
All
All right.
So was it number 2, right?
Yeah, we're on number 2.
Okay, yeah. So my number 2, thinking about it, he probably should be number 3, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm gonna go with Goro / Forearms from the Mortal Kombat series. When I was younger, I never owned the game. I used to rent it from Blockbuster, but I was too afraid to play it by myself. So I would make my mom watch the game while I play it. And I was so bad at the game. And then I remember the one time I actually got to Goro, and he kicked the crap out of me. And I remember just being like scared and just destroyed because this forearm just killed me. Looking back, it's really funny. A little embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess all I have really to say is Goro from Mortal Kombat.
Then they came out with Girl Goro later. But, you know.
Shiva. And then...
And Kentaro.
Kentaro.
The tiger one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mintaro was like the weird boss, like the centaur or
With
sort
the,
of.
yes, he... So it's Goro / him. Because he was really scary. He was really scary. Because I think he had 4 arms, right?
No,
No?
he just had 2. He just had like a
He had a horse body but a scorpion tail.
yeah. He
Oh.
was a thing. He was definitely a thing for sure. My number 2 is I'm picking it from Shadow of the Colossus, and any one of those guys can be considered like really good, impactful bosses and just really cool bosses. But I have to go with the third one, which is the Gaia Knight. I think that's like the term
It's
of
a
it.
Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Sure, only 5 million times taller. But like I remember him as being like the first Colossus you really had to like think how to get to him, because like, you know, like he has like this giant sword for an arm, and you can put 2 and 2 together, like, hey, you got to climb up this sword arm, but then you're all like, oh, where can I go? Because there's like a thing on his arm that blocks it. I'm just doing like a quick synopsis of it, but like. But you're like confused for like a good while, but then it's like, oh, there's like this circle pad in the middle of this thing. So then you know, use your brain a little bit and you just have him smash it. And he smashes the thing on the arm, so you're able to climb him and kill him and stuff like that. Plus, I think he just looks sweet. He's like really, really, really tall, and like just having like the sword and just having like the whole knight persona. Like even when you kill him, he kind of does like the whole kneeling and like, oh, I failed, and then dead. So. To me, it's just really cool. Like if they had like another giant giant boss in another game, I want it to look like him just because I think
Nice.
he's cool. So, all right, before we get
a quick tidbit. The guy you're talking about, Gaia Knight, reminds me in Super Smash Brothers when Zelda does her new move and at night comes out.
oh.
Like
Yeah.
a very, very smaller version and a gray version of him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's true. But anyways, I was gonna say, like, before we get to our number one, that we're both gonna share. Any honorable mentions that you want to say? Like anyone that you couldn't that came close to the list that you want to put up there?
Before I'll say it out loud. Are we sharing the same number one?
No.
Okay. Good. So crap. Yeah, I think I botched this up. What's your number one?
That's my number one.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not
Okay,
any of your games.
okay. So an honorable mention. Yeah, my list is all messed up because I really wanted to mention Diablo from Diablo 2, I guess, and or Bale, depending on
I remember Bale.
Depending on what version you're playing, if it's the expansion or not. Diablo 2 is probably the game I probably spent the most time playing my entire life. The first time I beat Diablo, I was on a very bad computer. The computer, like, think about how bad it is, because Diablo 2 is not a graphic-intensive game. My computer could not even keep up with that. So remember, I beat him because I was in a party, but my computer was lagging so bad I couldn't see the battle going on. So he was like just very mysterious to me until like a year later when I got a new computer and I actually faced him by myself. He was like, so cool! And then I played Diablo 3 a lot still. Even though we don't really do boss runs anymore because it's not really that important to kill bosses for loot, the story behind Diablo is just great. So I would probably put him in number 2, and then Goro would be an honorable mention, but whatever.
Cool. All right, I have to give a shout out to this one boss. It's Rockhawk from Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, which is a game that this guy next to me has to play.
Never played.
It's a really, really good RPG. If you've never played it, you're missing out. Anyways, Rockhawk. Picture it this way. Let me explain Rockhawk to you, Mark, just so you can see how awesome.
I'm imagining him as a bird with the giant electric guitar. He's black and red. He has like a Slayer tee on, ripped jeans, like he's ready to rock.
You got one thing right. He's a bird.
Yeah, nice.
No, you meet Rockhawk in this kind of like a fighting arena, and Rockhawk is like the ultimate champion and everything like that. Let's just say if you took a cartoon Mario-inspired hawk bird, thing, meshed it, everything Hawk Hogan,
Nice.
and that's Rockhawk right
Sweet.
there. He's a trash-talking son of a gun, and you fight him. It's got this huge build-up because you actually got to progress the game. You got to fight your way through the ranks of this fight club, per se. And he's the last guy you face up against. So it's just a whole lot of hype build-up for this guy right there. And he's just a really entertaining character altogether. And it's just, I don't know. He's just fun. He's just fun to fight against and fun to just watch him go and play. You know, just watch him be Rockhawk. Yeah, Rockhawk. What you gonna do, brother? But I like your idea though. We should make should make a boss like that.
All right, we will. So, drum roll, I guess, for my number one. Red.
Ooh.
From the gold, silver / crystal versions of Pokemon.
Oh snap!
Think about it. I was young. I remember I got silver the day before it came out because I went to the mall with my mom. And it was when like Sears still like had like electronics there, and they actually had the game out on the shelf. And I begged my mom to buy it for me that night. So I bought it. I played for it for like a week straight. I beat the first 8 badges. You know, oh cool, I beat the game. wait, what's this? I get to go to Kanto for the first time? Like, holy crap! So I play through all the other bad guys. Okay, all the other bad guys. Well, now what's there to do? Ooh, you can go to the top of this random mountain. Okay, go to the mountain. And who do you see? You see Red, the person you play as in the first Red and Blue game. This, holy crap, the amount of excitement. Like, you can tell my voice how exciting it was to face, like, you in the old game. Oh.
I do remember when you found out about that and you like told us like, dude, guys, I'm facing Red, and we're like, who's Red? But yeah, that's cool.
Like, yeah, he's based off of like the comic character, but he doesn't say anything to you. His sprite is the same sprite in Red and Blue. His Pikachu, I think it might be the highest level Pokemon ever. I probably could be wrong. He's like level 80 something. I think I'm wrong. I think your rival in Gen 4 might be a little bit higher. But still, amazing. Red, number 1. You're my boy, Red.
Alrighty. Alright, so now, do I get a drum roll for my number 1? Number 1 for me is Glass Joe.
Really?
No.
Oh, damn. Damn, you got me.
Yeah, I concocted that.
Holy
Kept
crap.
that hidden card in my pocket. Anyways, my number 1 is Jet from Final Fantasy X.
Ah.
And let me tell you about Jet. He is like stupid hard. In my opinion, he is like the real final boss in Final Fantasy X because the final boss of Final Fantasy X was complete letdown. Like, it's a guy that you cannot die, you cannot lose, you're always going to beat. Yeah. Jet, you face Jet right before him, and Jet is hard. It takes, like, when you're first facing him, it does take a little while to get used to his style because he's just, a lot of his attacks just hit you for so much, and like, he will petrify your party members, so you have to waste turns trying to cure them from, you know, being stoned or whatever like that. And if you actually get him to the point where he uses his super attack, it's always a game over right there because it's just that strong. Unless you're really beefed up, but, you know, playing through the game straightforward, you know, you're not going to be beefed up enough, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention, he does have one of the coolest boss music ever. Like, it's the intro, like not the intro, but like one of the very first songs you hear in the game, like where Tyler's in Xanarkin, and you got like this crazy rock song and some guy in the background, and you got that as his background music for the boss fight, and it pumps your adrenaline, and it's just really like if you're getting yourself involved in the story, this is like the ultimate fight of everything coming together from the story, and to me, it's just probably the best boss fight out there.
Good deal.
Sir Jet.
Sir Jet.
Yep.
There it is, our top 5 bosses of all time. What are your favorite bosses? Go ahead and say in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. So yeah, do that. And until then, my name's Mark.
And I am Paul.
And we'll see you guys.
See you later.